Monday night has come back. Pull up a Zoom box, grab a microphone, and get comfortable. It's about to go down. La, 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 welcome to the Monday Night Online Open Mic presented by the legendary New Eurekan Poets Cafe. I'm your host. My name is Elemen2al. Happy Monday. This is the jump off, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go. We've been doing this for 181 weeks. Can you dig it? Can you dig it? But here we are, and we're going to keep pushing forward. Again, every Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. If you're watching on one of these streams, we truly appreciate you. What's going on? The number is on your screen. If you would like to join us in the Zoom, 279-995-364. It truly is a different world inside the Zoom. Jump in and join the greatest community in the world. Why do I say that? You're going to find out very soon. We do this week after week thanks to some dedicated folks who pay these bills. All right, so we would like to thank the Howard Gilman Foundation, the Poetry Foundation, the New York Center Department of Cultural Affairs and Education of America for hosting our free online events. You can add your energy to the mix with a tax-deductible donation by going to neweurekan.org/contribute. Make sure you are plugging in with the dopest tech in the Zoomverse, the one and only Ron Mark Thompson, aka RMT. You're not down with RMT by now? Damn it, you should be. That cat's all over the place, man. Programs, operation, he's got his hands all over the place. Make sure you plug in. Make sure you're checking in with the squad. Shout out C4. These cats are incredible. We bomb atomically. All of them are incredible. Their hosts, they are bananas. Check them out, truly. This is where you can find me. There's some things going on. All right. The website will be popping very soon. Some changes are happening. All right. Stay tuned. Plug in. Things are coming. Tonight's theme, the right to flight above the clouds. Right. It also coincides with the Air Force birthday. So, this is really about what it is to fly. Right. When did you take your first flight? Right? Some people think that, being an airhead is, just being lost in the clouds. Sometimes we do get lost in the clouds, but I would love to hear what you folks come up with when you're up there. What do you see? All right. Also, this week is the beginning of Hispanic Heritage Month. So make sure you are bringing your poems. If they are not on theme, that is totally cool. All right. But again, for the next 3 weeks, please bring your poems for Hispanic Heritage Month. We want to hear, how do you represent your country, your origin, your motherland, the importance of keeping traditions and customs alive, right? So make sure you are plugging in, all right? Again, if your poem's not on theme tonight, that's totally cool. Next week's theme, coming at you. Family business. Beautiful bloodlines. So, and also we're going to continue with the Hispanic Heritage Month. But this is about what is your family business, right? What do you do? What does your family do, right? Have you joined it? Have you changed it? Have you improved the family business? Or are you the trendsetter, right? That's setting the family business, that's starting the family business. Tell us about your beautiful bloodlines and how those lines have brought you to right here, how they've intersected and twisted through time and brought you to right here, right? And, which one of your ancestors do you relate to the most, if any, right? Did someone, kind of set you on this path? Again, it's about the family business. So come through next week, bring your poetic license because we're going to get down. All right, let's get to the rules so we can get to the poetry this evening. Poets, turn your cameras on. We are trying to simulate a live open mic as much as possible. Plus, we love to see all the beautiful expression that goes into your poetry performance. So turn your cameras on. As you're getting ready, have your poem ready. All right, if you're going analog, dog ear the page. If you're going digital, make sure the piece is already pulled up and ready to rock. If you're using music, which is totally cool, make sure it's original music. All right, we don't want the agents of the interweb interfering with our streams in any way. All right, so make sure it's original music. And if you're playing music, totally cool. Make sure you have on your original sound. All right, original sound, original music, good to go. Poets, you got 3 minutes to rock. All right, you got a 30-second intro. Let the folks know where they can find you, connect with you, and all the things that you do. Also, before or after you get down, make sure you are plugging your information in the chat so folks can connect with you. Also, make sure you are changing your Zoom name to coincide with how you want people to connect with you. All right, keep in mind there are folks at the end of the list. All right, so be mindful of your time. We have reached night 30 for the babies. There are some explicit lyricists in our community, and sometimes they will bring about some triggering flashbacks. All right, but the founders of our cafe were major proponents on the freedom of speech, and we will make sure we maintain it in every vein of what we do. Therefore, there is no censorship. Other than any hate speech or any ism that people may use to manipulate, which will not, I said not, be tolerated, there is no censorship. I continue to say poetry is a living, breathing trigger warning. All right, thou hath been warned. This is a true call and response space. After you hear the poets get up here and rip out a part of who they are and share it with us, you'll see this pop up on your screen. This is when you get a chance to let all that emotion out, right? Let the people know, let the poets know that you are in here. Share that energy. Don't worry about the noise. It's the rowdiest night of the week anyway, all right? Unmute yourself, let that energy flow. All that energy that you give, the poets will give back to you in their poetic performance, all right? Sign up tonight is closed, all right? To sign up, it begins 24 hours before the show, which would be Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern. To sign up, you go to neweurekan.org, you click on full events calendar, you click on the Monday that you want to perform on, and you need an artist RSVP ticket. It's the only way that you're getting on the guaranteed list, and they will not even populate until 24 hours before the show. Also going on in the brick and mortar is the open mic, alternated by Soul Preem and Felicia Cade, both ridiculously dope poets. This week on Wednesday, the Wednesday night slam is going to be postponed because of the climate justice open mic, all right, hosted by Hispanics in Philanthropy. Make sure you are plugging in if you are in the area. Also, Thursday night online this week is going to be guest hosted by our very own Finn Bell. All right, so make sure you are plugging in on Thursday and rocking with Finn. It's gonna be amazing, trust and believe. Also, Friday night in the building, Jive, shout out, Paco. It is just, it's an experience. Make sure you are in there. If you can ever fall through Jive show, it is stupendous, really. And right after Jive, you got the open room with Chevy. Listen, it just goes down so much in the brick and mortar. Tonight's list. There's clearly some folks that we haven't seen. We got new voices at 181. It is going to be amazing. So let's get to it, y'all. There's all my rowdy friends here on Monday night. Oh my goodness. This is the best night of the week. So let's show the rest of the days how it's actually done. Posting the lit list in the chat right now. Let's get to it. Setting us off this evening is our resident blacksmith, Mr. Lighthouse Riders, who I'm telling you, this cat's pens just stays so sharp. Again, even when he says, oh, I wrote this a couple of years ago, it's like, damn it, did you just sharpen it today or what? Because it's always amazing. The one and only Michael Sindler is in the building. Let these folks know how they can connect with you and all the incredible things you do. Please set us off this evening. Come on.
Hey, Elemental. Hey, everybody. Good to see you. Good to see all the new faces here. This is like more new people than I've seen in I can't remember when. I will start, as always, by putting up my little wrinkled card here for lighthouseriders.org, which is a wonderful, wonderful resource for anybody trying to work on anything that you're trying to do as a writer at any level. So you have absolutely nothing to lose by just going and looking at the wonderful site and seeing amazing things. I really am not going with the theme, partially because I didn't know what it was, and partially because I don't have anything in that I haven't read recently. So I don't want to reread something that I just read the other week. So I'll start with this one called Mystery and Light. There's a solidity in shadow, a strength within the void, a knowledge that lack of light is how we see a form resides. There's a background behind infinity, impenetrable black that bleeds all light into being, a pull that sets what was once pushed into a dance of shade and shower. The glow known in absence illuminates the way back home, turning tides, ceaseless flow. There's a mystery in light. There's a solidity in shadow. And go with this. Let's see if I can get 3 in here real quick because they're all short. This one is called Of Which We Weave. To be still in space is to be lost in the past. All aspects of universe spiral out, drawing light into line, drawing love along, each note a song in the making, each spin of matter pulling in balance in endless flight. Nothing fades that is not remade from same stuff of which we weave dreams that trail behind to show the path. And lastly, this one is Only in Ocean. Rusting here in dry dock, barnacles are welcome reminders of the sea. They pain as they hang tight, that is true, but still, as I am still, they recall the repetitive splash of each wave on port and starboard, the buoyant thrill of being lifted, whereas now my gravity only pulls down as I lurch towards dismantlement. In this immobile place, rust wears me thin, no fresh coats painted. I can feel the crumble. I miss each journey more than the land's end at each short conclusion. Only in ocean did I ever feel alive. Okay, thank y'all.
Only in ocean did I ever feel alive. I mean, come on, that's how he does it. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Michael Sindler.
Yeah, Michael. Right on.
Michael. Good job, Michael. Always. Good job,
Michael.
man. Good stuff.
Thank you, Michael.
This is how we do it. All right. We are underway this evening. Thank you, Michael Sindler, for just what you do, right? And listen, he's an example of what I said in the beginning, right? Your poem doesn't have to be on theme, but you always have poetic license to bring what you feel, to bring what's on your heart, because we are still here, willing and ready to listen, right? Listen, miscreant light, it always reminds me of just like, you know what I mean? Light that it's just ambient almost, but it's so just random, right? Said there's strength within the void. Absolutely. The background behind infinity, that's a beautiful, right? Because we always think, you know, and beyond, but there is, you know what I mean? It's a background to that as well. Of which we weave, come on, man. Each note is a song in the making. I absolutely love that. It's already a building block just waiting for the rest of the people. And then in the last piece, you know, rust wears me thin, right? I can feel the crumble, right? It's just pulling me down. Like barnacles are interesting things. But I don't think only fish deal with barnacles. But a beautiful journey. Thank you, Michael Sindler, a mainstay of our community. Make sure you are plugging in with Lighthouse Writers. He wouldn't be mentioning it for years now if it weren't worth it. So plug in. All right, coming up next, the resident OGs in the building. All right, the Jedi Master is here to start some good damn trouble. The one and only Paul Skiff is here. Let these folks know where they can find you online. It is always great to see you, Jedi Master. Please take it away.
Hey, hi, everybody. And big New Eurekan Aja. Big New Eurekan welcome to the people who haven't been here before. I'm just going to do part of this kind of internal landscape. It's a title, Outbound. This is part 1. So I'm just going to read part of this. Equilibrium tooted by stoned tuba player, lip jabbers within trombone, stumble black kaleidoscope teeters downbeat flow honks, ignites 120 passengers to pogo dance in unison on top of hour looted from midnight train whose car lamps stutter locked moments, jumpers froze midair. Law and order blow a fuse popped while rolling above the avenue where civilization is stomped under wild bounce of 8 tons of humanity, animal joy between floor and sole of each airborne foot, the same 2-sprung inflated seconds fatten, engorged world busted open from cage of human negatives, fluctuating short circuit laughter mob, grabs same liberty as freedom ghost that robs rationality from empty shopping bag, hot updraft lazily glides off seared street to sail over 7-story roofware, my naked back upon gritty tar paper, I loiter gift wrapped by late July's 8 o'clock at night sunshine. On extreme voyage of weightless liberty, indulged volition proliferating, I open my trillion live cells to nature's boasting portion. My own body escapes with inertia, hunger, and vision like the floating bag, announcing clemency through loophole in city's dim, withering law of over-organization. The bag stuffed full only with empty shadow, primordial mouth meditated by solitary appetite, witness of my eyes, shadow well ascends into thunderhead described for my stomach, nurturing organ that a week before fed my feet their downpour up into the science house of judgment and punishings where Folding gravity arguments into floating vessel, I glided the change prayer. American backwardness toward the face of a congressman, but his calloused gravedigger lips fossilized, embalmed in hypocrisy as a family photo smile, enshrined as bourgeois living room mask, were frozen by the law-making pessimistic alibi singer's tight, dry heart. The elevator raising hoarse connection with world to Mr. Chili's vocal cords was stalled between remote sympathies counting to numb infinity like a castigating whip there among spittle of stalled promises, as if on a trash can lid, ancient, feeble pigeon, defecating prison terms and cut rate influence, citizen torpid abdicates from the house of human progress to choose tangled amnesties of final breath, immune cough promise, backwardness mocks curative vision, slurs prosperity into docket numbers intoned by equality's bankruptcy. His tongue's sterile eloquence rattles privilege over once hospitable door stoop, now self-evident truth dragged slow by dim ambition upon massive mile of indifference made from stone condolence, severed touch, grinding oratory jolts muscles beneath face, frigid flinch, ungovernable as berserk anger compressed against trigger upon instant of decision, blasted empty with finality to launch corpse in pursuit of happiness mid-farce. We feel the trauma in unison, not collected in sympathetic impulse at sight of sufferers' anguish, but fixated on reflections of murderers' violence. Peering through my own telescopic breaths, I espy upon life as it were whisper count and magnify the atrocious verdicts inflated by legislated distances within and between cadaverous numbers to know if human ignorance patterns itself after infinity, populated by scarce choices. Morning sunlight perhaps silhouettes hope, that child's anticipation, but 200 miles crossed at 30,000 feet over atrophy land, where charred instant between bureaucratic murder and model citizen become melted circuit of lost vision plugged by sociopathic grief, instructs me with minuscule vistas of silent freeways that disconnect 400 years from human understanding to paste down a congressman's tongue. I'm going to stop there. Thanks for your generous listening this evening.
You just hear the lightsaber swinging. Woo, woo, woo. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Paul Skills.
As always, just phenomenal.
Yeah, superb.
I don't know how I went
brother.
this long
We
without
love
hearing
you.
you.
Just amazing. For all the many newcomers here, welcome. Michael and Paul, you know, the first two, welcome to the New Recon Poets Cafe. It's just amazing. Love you guys. That's amazing.
Absolutely, right? And I told y'all it's the greatest community in the world. And we're going to continue to show you all night with every single poet that you're going to hear this evening. You are going to find out why. All right. Coming up next, but first, wait. So, you said it was called Outbound Part 1, right? Listen, man, I don't even know where. Again, I know, you know, Jedi, they travel the galaxy all over, man. Some of the things that you say, sir, I don't know where on planet Earth you found that. All right. But I'm thankful that you are that conduit that comes through and shares it with us. You know, you truly just remind us, right, that there's still work to do, right? He said, busted open from cage of human negatives, right? Freedom ghost that robs rationality, like a bag full of empty shadows. Come on, man. American backwardness embalmed with hypocrisy. Like, come on, man. Like, that is just, man, he getting the morticians involved, right? Tangle amnesty and final breath, like slurs prosperity into docket numbers. Come on, man. Come on, man. Like, we feel trauma and unity, right? Come on, listen. This is what we do. I continue to say, some people do this. We do this. Thank you, Paul Skiff, for being a mainstay. Again, that cat's an OG. He's been around for a while. Make sure you are plugging in. You can learn something from him 100% of the time. All right, appreciate you. Coming up next, the cat that always has all the gusto, the Magus, is in the building. Love when this cat comes through. The one and only Gustav Salas is here. Let these folks know where they can find you online. Always great to see you. And you looking fly, too. Take it away, man.
Yeah, I'm wearing my poet shirt from Vision Works. Very proud of it. Very proud of it. Yes, get yourself one. Get in the know. Greetings, Elemental, RMT, and beloved poets. I have 2 new pieces tonight on theme. Let's go. This is called First in Flight. The Wright brothers first flew in 1903 at Kitty Hawk, but they were not the subject of this talk. More than 100 years prior in Annonay, France, the Montgolfier brothers began our flight romance. In a balloon, the first of its kind. Many thought they were out of their mind. The first balloon test flight occurred on December 14th, 1782, using ignited wool and hay as fuel. Through the sky it flew. On September 19, 1793, the first test with living beings was flown for the king at Versailles. A sheep, a duck, and a rooster flew to the altitude of 1,500 feet high. The craft landed safely 2 miles away. All the animals survived, I'm pleased to say. Then the king declared a human should try. Into the air, Etienne Montgolfier did fly. So when you think of first in flight, the Montgolfier brothers are who you should cite. And this is called airplane mode. Sorry, I'm not receiving you. I'm in airplane mode, offline for a time while I write this ode to planes and all things that fly through the sky so very high. At 30,000 feet cruising altitude is where I abide, just like the dude. As with Icarus, who flew too close to the sun, or Maverick from Top Gun, planes can take you there much faster. Of course, when they crash, it's a disaster. Travel by plane is safer than travel by car, but just knowing that won't get you very far. If you have a fear of flying, it's something real, I'm not denying. Is it fear of planes or fear of dying? Get on that flight and stop your crying. Thank you.
Who does that? Come on, man. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Gustav Salas.
And if that ain't on theme, I don't know what is. Oh man, that was flying for sure.
And it was informational and a good history as well. Thank you.
Yeah, but it was also fun.
Exactly. This is why I love our community. I know I'm biased on the host, but damn it, I love our community for things just like this, right? He said, oh, I know you thought what you thought, but let me give you the real deal, right? This is why I love poets, man. This is why I love poets, because poets do research, right? We know what it is. We're not going to come up here and just give you something that we don't know is for a fact, right? I love that, man. How you just tied that into the French that you bring. So of course, like, damn it, Magus, that was pretty incredible, man. All the way back to December 1782, right? And then 93, the King of Versailles. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. That airplane mode though, that's just crazy. 30,000 feet at cruising altitude. Yeah, I think that's where most of us kind of hang out on a regular basis. Call us Mavericks, call us Top Guns. Listen, we just do this. I continue to tell y'all we do this. Appreciate you for that lesson in flight, Gustav. Just incredible, man. Make sure you are plugging in with Gustav, a mainstay of our community. And you're going to hear his voice the rest of the night anyway. So appreciate you, Gustav. And his gears fly too, bro. Check it out. All right, coming up next, a newer mainstay of our community who has come through, who has stayed just in the pocket and it continues to come through and rock with us on a regular basis. The one and only Dre Reyes is in the building. Let these folks know how they can connect with you and all the incredible things you do. Come on, man. You know what it is.
Good evening, everybody. This is Dre Ray. Looking at Instagram at DreRay90, and I got one poem that I guess was written back in 2012 that kind of fits the mood. It's called Abducted. I'm the passenger on this ride. You picked me up out of nowhere, and I assume we're in for a trip. I want to fly into space where I could simply float on endlessly and not being fatigued at all as I drift through the planets. The stunning sights of planet Earth from above, I've only seen them in photographs, just like every vacation spot I see on TV. I want to witness the extraordinary and the amazing. Fuck you, gravity, and embrace me as I will embrace you, universe. Show me your darkest secrets. Show me what happens on the dark side of the moon. Take me adrift like an endlessly falling leaf through the solar system. Let me see the craters and cracks of not just the moon, but of Mars as well. The magic of it all will take me to Jupiter. Let me take a ride inside that great red storm. As much as I want to experience the beauties of the universe, I want to survive the terrors. That way, I will constantly be reminded that life is too short and beautiful. After that, may the hellish winds blast me off towards the rings of Saturn. Stevie Wonder lyrics ring happily in my head as I am riding a circular magic carpet ride around this cold gas giants. Carry me off towards Uranus and Neptune and allow me to bathe in their gas atmosphere and see what truly occurs on those planets. Maybe there are creatures who can somehow communicate with me and share understanding and peace among each other. How epic would that be? Being the human link to beings from other planets. I would love to be a part of their civilizations and see what it's like to live on another planet. Whatever happens after that, I wouldn't care. I can die happily as I float on, or you can amaze me more by taking me through the unknown. Expose me to other solar systems, constellations, galaxies. Prove to me there can be parallel universes. Let's bend space and time together. There you go.
Oh, that guy said bend space and time together. Come on, unmute yourself. Give it up for Dre Reyes.
Very nice. Very
Welcome,
nice.
Dre.
Hey,
Dope,
fantastic.
dope.
Carry me
Yeah.
off. Yeah.
Parallel universes. Ooh, I love it, love it.
Thank you, thank you.
Listen, I love a good space odyssey. All right. So as soon as you took flight, man, and you went to the red storm and you start, Earth from like, oh man, come on. How far are you gonna go? You know what I mean? Like how far into the space are you gonna go? I love stories like that. I really do. Say you float on endlessly, like fuck you, gravity. I love that, right? And I think that's what this is also about, right? I'm not gonna attempt to say the brothers' names, right? But the French brothers is what I'll call them. Forgive me, Gustav, my French is not as good as yours. But it kind of is that, right? It's saying, fuck you, gravity. Like, I don't have to commit to your rules all the time, right? Dre said, show me your darkest secrets, right? Show me space. I want to see what it really is, right? I want to survive the terrors, right? He said, I want to see if there are creatures that can somehow communicate with me. That just makes me think of music, right? I know it's DJ, and he said, man, I would think about, what DJs from other planets would do, and I would try to make my music like theirs, So it would be really, really interesting to know, right? Once we get contacted from beings in other galaxies or, planets, what their music is going to sound like. That's what I'm looking for. What's the music going to sound like? gonna be interesting. Appreciate you, Dre Reyes. Look, man, I saw some pictures of you recently, man. You and another poet that we'll see this evening. Y'all look fantastic, man. Appreciate you. All right. Okay, so coming up next, another new member of our community, but continues to come through and just tear it down. Listen, whether he's writing or he's reciting, this cat's all kinds of dope with it. The one and only Kazi Kaz in the building. Unmute yourself. Let the folks know where they can find you, man. Always great to see you. Come on, take it away.
All right. Thank you. Hello, everybody. I hope everybody is doing good. All right. So I really did not have time this week to write anything. It's just been absurdly insane. But I did want to share something. So what I thought I'd do was share something that I actually wrote maybe 2 weeks ago, and it's kind of on theme. So it's titled Celestial Walks. It's a very short piece. Okay. I watched as the sun and moon danced the night away, completely oblivious to the upcoming day. The sun was eclipsed by the light of the moon, and I didn't see them getting home anytime soon. Their souls intertwined as they hypnotized me. Mesmerized was I by their heavenly glee. They lit up the floor like I've never seen before. 2 brightly undulating orbs swaying back and forth. They swished, they swirled, they whisked, they whirled, twisted and twirled. Only they existed in their own little world. Then the music reached its inevitable end with an incredible crescendo that I used as the ink for my pen, so I could regale you with this cosmic love story that began with a dance and a kiss. Thank you. That was it.
Come on, man. He tell me out here talking star-crossed lovers. Come on, man. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Kazi Kaz.
Yeah, man.
Kazi Kaz.
Hey,
Don't always worry about it being new.
Love
man.
and
You know, you
space.
got old stuff. It's great, and even if we've heard it before, it's always nice to hear stuff again.
Oh, Michael.
Word. I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
I told y'all, man. He's a blacksmith for real, right? When he's not working, he's helping people. Listen, this he's got a really great point. If you didn't really hear what Michael Sandler said, make sure you go back and watch the replay. Listen, I love how you just took this thing that we know. That's what I love about poets, y'all. They take this thing that we know, that we're already familiar with, and you put it in a pen and make it ink to write this cosmic love story. Come on, man, right? He said their souls intertwine as they mesmerize me, right? But only they existed in their own little world, but you were still able to get all of that and then bring that, man, and then the imagery, right? And then again, like I said, making it ink for your pen to write something like that. Amazing. Appreciate you, Kazi Kaz. Make sure you are plugging in with Kazi Kaz. Like I said, a newer member of our community, but continues to come through with the heat every time. Appreciate you, Kaz. All right, coming up next, this gentleman, I continue to say, is the most eloquent writer I know. Appreciate you for staying up so late. The one and only Lantern Carrier is in the building. Let these folks know where they can find you. I truly appreciate you for always hanging out with us. Please take it away.
Thank you. My info is in the chat, and I'm featuring tomorrow night. If anyone's interested, contact me via email. Its soul has always yearned to be unchained like Hercules, for it knows it was born free. So whether we see this in Greek mythology or in various tales from our ancestors, humans have an innate urge to be unfettered. Historically, many civil rights and revolutionary groups sprung out of oppression, inequity, and injustice. And from east to west, whether it was Gandhiji or African ancestors, Maoists, Maroons, or Cuban revolutionaries, they all saw freedom songs as the very soul of their movement. What is freedom? We are not free when segregation exists in bars, schools, laws, and healthcare systems, in language and transportation, in sport facilities and adult suffrage, in enforced labor and heinous crimes based purely on racial prejudice. The songbook of the soul, sent by love, ascended from the mineral, plant, and animal kingdom into the plenitude of the life divine. Perhaps Icarus suspected this when he flirted with complacency, flying too close to the sun, and paid a mortal price for his curiosity. We enact laws and cries of injustices, shout for liberty, equality, and the pursuit of happiness through statutes and statues of liberty. However, what about the agony of yearning burning in the fire of each soul? Humans, black, white, and otherwise, do the needful only because freedom incessantly calls to us like a fiery phoenix as the birthright of an ever-effulgent light. In 559 AD, Yuan Hung II and several prisoners of Emperor Wen Yuan of northern Qi were forced to launch themselves with a kite from a tower as an experimental flight. In the 9th century, the Andalusian Abbas ibn Firnas attempted a short gliding flight with feathered wings from the Tower of Cordoba. More flights continued down the centuries, and the first confirmed human flight via tethered balloon was accomplished by Jean-François Pilotot de Rosé in 1783. The Wright brothers, using the research of Otto Lilienthal, Da Vinci, and others, made the world's first successful aircraft flight on September 20th, 1904. Today, I do not know if men have walked on the moon, but they have undeniably excelled in the excellence of aviation. Branson, Bezos, and Musk are all keen to exploit the bandwagon, and India as an emerging power is reshaping its own destiny. I once said to my mother, Mommy, what is that up there in the sky? La luna, mi niño. The moon? It looks so beautiful. How I wish to fly up to the heavens and play with it. My mother laughed. But now I saw in contemplation a songbird leaving this mortal coil behind, exercising my birthright through the freedom of the soul. I glide above the clouds, way into constellations and the zenith of magnificence, shedding tears like a bodhisattva for the ignorance of many, so identify with the amnesia of worldliness that they have forgotten how to fly. Oh, that I had the wings of a dove, said the psalmist, then I would fly away and be at rest. Lantern Carrier, thank you.
Ooh, so I'll fly away and be at rest. Come on, man. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Lantern Carrier.
The one, the only Lantern Carrier.
Beautiful.
That was beautiful. Absolutely
Yeah.
beautiful, man.
Absolutely.
Yes.
You spread that love blanket wide, my friend. You do. Relentless love, man.
That's crazy. That's nuts. That's awesome.
Damn it, CC.
That's beautiful.
Spoken like a true damn lyricist. He called it a love blanket. Oh shit. Shout out to Linus with his blanket. Man. This is why I call this cat the most eloquent writer I know. He does this and does this and does this, right? He said the songbook of the soul sung by love, right? Flirted with complacency, flying too close to the sun. Like, I used to hear about Icarus a lot when I was younger. But I guess people have forgotten the story of Icarus. So thank you. Clearly, when great minds think alike, we get poems like these, right? And I love how it just like timelines, right? They just intersect. Lantern mentioned 559 AD. right? And then brought it to where Gustav went in 1783, and then brought it to the Wright brothers in 1904. The excellence of aviation, I mean, exercising my birthright through the freedom of my soul. You're just incredible, Lantern. Thank you for continuing to hang out with us. And it's crazy late where Lantern is across the pond. Thank you for hanging out with us. Really, your time, your presence, your energy are very, very appreciated. You're amazing, sir. You're amazing. Thank you. Make sure you're plugging in with Lantern. Plug into his feature if you can. All right, coming up next, this guy. I'm telling you, the writers are in the building this evening. The storytellers are here, y'all. It's like back to back to back, for real. Coming up next, cat I like to call the Vincent Price of poetry. His work never misses. The one and only Ike Waltz is in the building. Let these folks know where they can find you online. Ike, great to see you. Please take it away.
Well, I flew Otto Lilienthal's hang glider in 1973. Unfortunately, I crashed. The universe of the ant. I fly way up in the blue sky, 36,000 feet in thin air. I opened the curtain on my right, looking down to say hi to you. I thought I see us, everyone, but I see none. All I see are ants on the run. I see hills, valleys, and plains, squares, circles, and snow. And there are dotted nests connected by spider webs where the colonies seem to rest. In, out, in, they come and go as if there is a purpose, a logic or so. I conclude as if they can't make up their mind. All activity without a beginning, without an end. Is it scent, instinct, or much more? All that what I can't understand. Who is king, slave, or the better clown? Do they have castles, a home, uptown, midtown, or is it someone's downtown? Shops to sell and buy, restaurants to feed. Why do they meet? Is there a countdown? Is there a limit to time? What winds the motion in time? Who has the bigger heart that pumps the beat? What language do they speak? Yes, they are everywhere, in the cold, in the heat. All I see is that somehow they face each other when they meet. How many kings fondle the queen? Do the servants gossip on the street? Do the workers have an intimate affair? When and how many is not clear. Do the children wear socks in their boots? Do all the girls carry these sexy attachments? They're called boobs. Their fate is to multiply. But how and why do they march in lockstep, go to war and fight? They kill each other like having fun. They bury flowers in a teardrop. They shake hands. They never again. They clean up the mess with a mop always again and continue the relentless same repeatedly like before. I watch them run and run, always in the same old lane in both directions and across each other's lane, like in a game, and that again and again. And I fly way up in the sky. I am God. I believe in relief at the new religion of AI. I close the shade, my power, close my mind, now that I see better what I happily like to regret. At the later, leaning back in my comfy chair, dim is the light and atmosphere. I close my eyes and rest my fat ass. 3 cheers, I am on my way to Mars. After all, I fell asleep in first class. An angelic voice from heaven? A whisper passed into my sound-proofed ear? The ear was mine. I startled in a moment of fear. Sir, wake up. We arrived. Oh yes, I will always remember my dream. When God and I was hand in hand, just the same. And little ants everywhere crawled up inside my black pants, hissing on my sexy legs. These annoying ants everywhere had to piss on my sexy legs, even in what is called midair. Thank you.
Dirty, dirty ants. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Ike. Whoa! Woo!
And his sexy.
Yeah, Ike.
Let it go, Ike.
Yeah,
Back in the saddle. Storyteller man.
Sexy legs. Come on, man. Like the ants couldn't get enough of Ike and his legs. Right? Should I travel the universe of beyond? Right? All I see is ants on the run. Is there a limit to time? Man, see, when you went on the plane and you started talking like that, it just reminded me of 12 Past Midnight, I believe, the Stephen King story, where just things just, airplanes do wild things in stories, right? You mentioned the new religion of AI. That is becoming so very much so, right? But be careful how you say that, man, because the next thing we'll see on television is the Church of Transistors with the good Reverend AI telling you a sermon about how you need to convert. And then the last part you said, wake up, we've arrived. To me, those are the best trips. Until I learned recently that you shouldn't sleep on airplane trips, that the high elevation helps you to become more creative. So you should make use of that time and not sleep. So thank you, Ike Waltz. Truly, truly appreciate you. I tell y'all, the storytellers are in the building. All right. Coming up next, this gentleman is known to raise the IQ in the room. He is a ridiculously incredible storyteller, and he's going to show you why. The one and only Mr. Teza Somo is here. Let these folks know where they can connect with you online. It is always great to see you, Mr. Tez. Please take it away.
Thank you, sir. Thank you to the New Eureka Poets Cafe community. Folks can follow me on Instagram under Gaseous 2019, the title of my first book. I am going to jump in with some story time. It was a hard debate between 50 ways to impeach Joe Biden or this, so I think we'll go with this one. We did that one on Thursday. In the footsteps of fire, Coyote's odyssey to find possum. Fade in, exterior Kern County, Button Willow, Chaparral, night. The wild, destructive fires fan by the west to east coastal winds that are inhaled by the scorching summer desert. The westerlies are important to the climate of Kern County. They bring in mild, moist air from the Pacific Ocean that helps to moderate the temperatures. The westerlies transport moisture across the Sierra Nevada mountains, essential for agriculture in California water supply. Ashka, Coyote, scurries in the direction of the westerlies with no choice but the blistering sand and abandoned washes. Long absent of moisture for months, Coyote gambles infernal brush, ambushes, or paw burns, dehydration, heat exhaustion, or possible collapse from heat stroke. The old man fire up, driven through unmanaged hubris conservation and untended lands, taking lives and homes from the collective abandon of the people. Ash blankets what it spares. The transference of trauma takes hold. Smoke clears and communities begin to feel there is a loss beyond words. Coyote bum rushes into Poop-oo, Roadrunner, as he takes a hard turn in a gully. Poop-oo. Whoa there, friend, you almost ran me over. Ashka. Well, you were in my way. Poop-oo. Take a deep breath. I think we're far enough away from up, old man fire, Ashka. My legs are trembling from running away from the fires. The refuge of my territory billows with ashes. Ashka lifts his front paws to show Poo-Poo. Poo-Poo flaps his wings, but out of instinct. Poo-Poo. Whoa, there you frazzle my feathers. Ashka. Ashka circles nervously. Ashka. The safety of my chaparral is gone. I can no longer crypsis into greasy chaparral. My home is gone. The yellow-hued moon is no longer beautiful. Poo-poo. You're having problems concentrating. I see you're having problems concentrating. You're hyper guarding. You are anxiously startled, drinking too much water, and you have yet to sleep. I have run into others like you, highly irritable. You all seem to be suffering, running away, but to where? Ashka still finds Poo-Poo's words unsettling. Ashka, it doesn't bother you because you're Geococcus californius. Yes, part of the cuckoo family. I think more like Geocuckoo californius, running all over the desert looking for the feathers that were taken from you. Poo-Poo. Oh, no, you didn't. Shh, you little barking yapper. You little canes latrans. Let's calm down. Look, I think you and the other four-legged are suffering from solastalgia. Ashka, you are definitely cuckoo. What are you talking about, Poo-Poo? You know, the distress that you feel due to the destruction of your home environment. You know, the human mental health and the earth, the psychotherapeutic. Ashka looks bewildered at Poo-Poo. Ashka, okay, now I know you're cuckoo. Papu, you need to find old man Tlacuatzin, that night critter, Mr. Possum. He's been known to reside at the old Indian Fort Tejon. Ashka, what is he going to do for me and the other animals? Poo-Poo, he is the newcomer to these lands, new since the 1800s, but his people are known to have the closest connections to Appa, old man fire. Ashka, you still haven't told me what he's going to do for me. Poo-Poo, yeah, I heard you yapping. He will know how to heal your trauma from the Anthropocene, the alienation that we all have had from old man fire. We all must seek away from the incorporeal anxiety, the triggers for flight, the obsessive thinking, the distress of environmental changes, and the ecological grief. Ashka, what kind of medicine is that? Poo-Poo, they call it soliphilia. Ashka, what? Soliphilia? Soliphilia, the solidarity needed between us all to be responsible for place, for our bioregion, a unitary collective territorial interest. Ashka, oh, sounds like good medicine. I must leave you and follow the westerlies and find the newcomer Tlacuatzin. I would invite you, but you're kind of cuckoo. Ashka beelines it for the grapevine, and Poo-Poo follows behind. Poo-Poo, hey, I must be crazy to follow you. Fade out.
I told y'all, man, the storytellers are in the building this evening. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Mr. Tezasomo.
One and only Tez.
Tez talk. Brilliant, as usual.
Heal me
I
from
would have
the
loved to hear that song
Anthropocene.
again. That was a great song.
Don't
on
give up that
Thursday.
guitar either. I know that's coming back.
Never too far. If I know anything about Mr. Tez, I know his guitar is somewhere within reach. Even if he has to turn his chair, it's in there somewhere. Mr. Tez, your stories are always 100%. Look, see what I tell you? It's always within reach. Your stories are incredible. I love your characters. I love the interaction between your characters, right? Because your characters interact with Earth in a very real way, right? even all the way down to, you know, he's like, man, my legs are trembling from running from the ashes, right? Like, the yellow hued moon is no longer beautiful. Come on, man. Like, it's those things. Again, I love texture in poems. So when you say those things, right, those things bring about certain textures. And I love how you use them and you just weave them into your different characters, and their dialogue is just amazing. Thank you, Mr. Tez, for continuing to be a mainstay and raising the IQ in the room every time you rip. Truly appreciate you. Make sure you are plugging in with Mr. Tez. All right, one more poet and we'll move to the halftime show. However, we have a new voice this evening. Can you dig it? 181 weeks and we have a new voice. Please unmute yourself. Please welcome. I don't want to mess it up. Please. How do you pronounce your name?
Nicole Setta.
Nicole Setta, welcome. Yeah. You have found yourself amongst the greatest community in the world. Where in the world are you plugging in from this evening?
Jersey.
Jersey in the building. Let's go. Listen, you see how it's going this evening. Let the folks know where they can find you online. And listen, take it away. Again, welcome.
I just started an Instagram page, so I'll put it in the chat. It's called, it's at Ferocious Mind. So if you want to follow, you could follow. I didn't go on theme with what was for tonight. This one's based on my mental journey. So, all right. Here we go. Woke up one morning ready for a change. It was something I never felt before. My thought process was something so strange. Ready to take on the world one step at a time. Excited for the journey to start my climb. To climb up that big mountain with obstacles far and near. Overcoming so much fear. My mind goes to the here and now. Knowing what my mind and body can allow. It allows perseverance and resilience to take charge. My motivation is at large. Motivated for what my life has in store. It's going to take loving myself to the core. The ruminating goes away, and I actually want to stay. Like a lion fighting to the death, I hold on with every last breath. I fight for my pride while staying humble. For once my mind's not in a jumble. Loving myself has and always will be the hardest job I face, but my growth is something I embrace. Not seeing the ugly, depressed, anxiety-ridden Nicole, I'm slowly starting to pull myself out of that deep hole. My life goals start to become so much clearer. I start to love myself a little more when I look in the mirror. I love the way I see myself when I look at my face, and I'm not talking about my body because that's not my favorite place. I'm talking about the smile that is genuine, not fake. I'm talking about the look in my eyes and how they're more awake. I can't turn back time and rewrite my past, but I don't have to compare and contrast. Sharing my journey isn't for attention and reinforcement, and I don't do it for the endorsement. I do it to help others see they're not alone through hard times we all have to endure, to help them feel safe and not unsure. I'm slowly reaching my peak through this thing called life, and I even have moments where I feel strife. There are moments when I'm anxious for hours. There are moments when I cry in the shower. There are moments when life doesn't make sense. I even have moments when I feel really tense. But with those moments come the strength in me I didn't know existed, the moments of growth and change that only persisted. I might not love myself to the full degree, but I think that none of us do, and that's something we all can agree. Each day I intend to find more strength through my darkest fight with my mind. Each day I hope to leave the past behind. Though each obstacle might be different and more complex, while life might leave me feeling perplexed, I intend to shine like the brightest star in the sky, all while doing it with a smile and sparkle in my eye.
And that is how you do it. Oh my goodness. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Nicole Setta.
Big welcome.
And to come into this room, first time,
Well done, Nicole.
that brave and honest. Wow.
Thank you.
Absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
Path ahead, not afraid to grow and change. You got miles ahead. You will be back here. That's for damn sure.
Oh yeah, we're waiting.
Yeah, you blew it. You're gonna have to come back here now.
You're one of us now.
One of us.
One of us.
Just
One
fuck
of
fame.
us.
That's not why you're here. It's a journey.
Love
You
new
did the right
voices.
thing.
My goodness.
Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you.
my goodness. You just fucked up. That's what our community is telling you. that one of us you heard, that just lets you know that you have truly been embraced as a member of our community. Make sure your information is in there. A bunch of folks are about to, flood your friends list so we can let you know, hey, we totally dig what you do. Make sure you come back on a regular basis. Because listen, everyone in this room at one point in time in our poetic journey can write this same story that you have here, right? One step at a time, overcoming so much fear, right? Perseverance and resilience to take charge. Like this is part of the reason we're all here, right? Because we've all made that decision to go forward in the best of ways, right? Fight for my pride while I stay humble. Yeah, that's just the key to success right there. One of them, right? My growth is something I embrace. Listen, that's how you know that you're on the path to your own greatness, right? Is when you embrace your growth, right? I don't have to compare and contrast. No, you don't. No, you don't. Your goal are yours. Your path is yours, right? Yes, there are moments when we cry in the shower. Listen, that's just the way it is. I don't know if showers were made for tears. I don't know, but they work well together. I'm just saying, they work really well together. Thank you, Nicole, for sharing your mental journey with us. Very, very powerful. Again, you are now one of us, so find yourself here on a regular basis. All right, we are moving into the halftime. Before I pass it over to Ron, let me shout out a couple of people. I see Mia Aguilera. Happy birthday, Mia. Mia was actually on the West Coast celebrating her birthday. Appreciate you always coming through and your energy, Mia. I see Lauren was in the building. Sophie Zama was here. Melinda Lucas in the building. Professor Platinum, Doug Silver in the house. Catman Bill. If you don't know Catman Bill is a mainstay over Thursday night, man. Always coming through with the vibes, man. Catman Bill's the business. Terry Rose Jerkson is here. And I love when Terry comes through. I saw Ty Hooker, Tyler Liedberg, Nick Austin, Calvin Sweeney, Angelina Bostello. Apologize if I mispronounce her name. Aliza Slater, Douglas Harrison, Elisa Slater again, and Emma Klein. Truly, truly appreciate all of you for hanging out with us. You didn't have to spend your evening with us, but you did. Now, before we move on, I'm going to send it over to the dopest tech in the Zoomverse, the one and only Ron Mark Thompson, a.k.a. RMT. You're not down with RMT by now, damn it. You should be. Ron, how you feeling this evening?
I am feeling okay. This is wonderful. What an amazing evening again. Thank you so much for all those themes. I think we're going to entice you to give us all these type of historical hidden themes so we can get, free history lessons and info that we didn't even know. But it's just amazing how everyone here is able to use poetry, to tie in with the theme or not, or even if it's just a little bit. It is just amazing. Love it. And I don't like that you're hyping this as the halftime show because, now I'm like, maybe I need to have some planes from the Wright brothers, flying over the stadium, over the virtual Zoom. So I'm like, oh my God, I'm never done at this, but it is just amazing. Hello, welcome everyone. For all the newcomers, my name is Ron Mark Thompson. I am the tech assistant in the background, helping out Elemen2al. I also work in the programs and operations team in the Nuyorican Poets Cafe. As you know by now, we do present, since the pandemic started, since 3.5 years ago, our online open mics, the one we are currently in at the moment, which is Elemen2al's Monday night online open mic. You see the Zoom ID here on the screen. I will also paste it in the chat again. It is the same Zoom ID we use every Monday, so just put it in your calendar. If you're here to watch and listen, you don't have to sign up. You can just come on in. Or if you want to participate and read a poem, as Elemen2al mentioned, 24 hours before, on Sundays at 8 p.m., you go to our online calendar and you may sign up for an artist RSVP ticket. And some Sundays, all 25 spots, will go away within an hour. Some other weeks, weeks, even if you come, late in the evening or in the morning, you will still find a spot available. So it's always worth to check it out. Just because it's Sunday late in the evening and you're like, oh my God, I didn't get a chance to sign up. Check the calendar. If you still see the artist RSVP link available, that means you still may sign up. If you can, just come on in anyway, because on Thursdays we have another online open mic, and that one, if you didn't have a chance to sign up, there is also a good luck round at the end where you may sign up. Thursdays is hosted by our cafe's executive director Labrour, except for the next 2 weeks. Labrour is going to be away in workshops and a featured performance at Hunter College next week. So Elemen2al already mentioned this Thursday, none other than our Finn Bell will be our guest host on Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern time. And the following week, next Thursday, I will be your guest host, yours truly. And Labrour will return in October then. And in a strange reversal of roles, Elemen2al will be our tech assistant in the background, though. So don't worry, we're not losing Elemen2al. He still will be with us, holding down the Zoom controls. So thank you so much, Elemen2al, for helping us out on all these switcheroos. Thursdays, if you want to sign up, Wednesdays start 9 p.m. Eastern time, artist RSVP ticket. And Thursdays, there is no theme, and it's not only poetry. You can bring your songs. We have lots of guitar, piano players, or your comedy or your storytelling. So come on by. And one more online program that we're doing, Beatniks Online, which is curated and hosted by Labrour. We are still in process of recording the September edition. We will let you know as soon as this is completed. Now, this, for the newcomers who have never been physically to the New Eureka Poets Cafe, this is what it looks like at the moment. On East 3rd Street in Manhattan during the daytime. It is literally squeezed in between two gentrified luxury housing buildings that during the last years, before the pandemic, just sprung up all over the Lower East Side. We are still standing, but we will be closing the building on October 31st, Halloween, which is the 50th anniversary. And thereafter, the city has given us a grant, and the city itself will be doing a freer, complete reconstruction, bottom to top, adding more stage spaces, adding workshop spaces, adding an elevator, which at the moment we don't even have, expanding the garden area. So it will be a new Eureka Poets Cafe after the reconstruction, but stay tuned because we will of course continue our online programming, and we will be going to satellite sites within New York City to hold some of our in-person programs at those sites. So just stay posted and we will give you all these details. Until October 31st, we will continue our regular weekly in-person programs. On Monday, going on right now, the on-site open mic hosted by Rice Felicia and Sol Bream. They alternate each week. Wednesdays, the Wednesday night poetry slam, alternately hosted by The Bee and J Rose, except, as Elemen2al already mentioned, except this Wednesday, it is a climate week, and the climate justice open mic is taking place in its place. This Friday, 10 p.m., as on every Friday, Jive Poetic Hall hosts the Friday Night Slam, followed by the Twilight Open Mic Open Room hosted by Chauvet. Coming up this next week, as we already mentioned, this Wednesday, 7 p.m., in place of the slam, Hispanic Philanthropy Society will be hosting Stories of Climate Justice for Latin Communities. That one is taking place 7 p.m. Thursday, we have another jazz program called Jazz Gria, which is both jazz and sangria, in person, 7 p.m. Only $5, the tickets. And if you missed this one, we will repeat this specific program one more time in October. Same same goes for Voices and Vibes next weekend on Saturday, September 30th at 8 p.m. Paul Concasso will return to host Voices and Vibes, which is our vocal open mic. Either you can sing to any karaoke song or bring your own original music. Tickets for those also only $5, Saturday, September 30th, and in October 14th. Stay tuned for all those October programs, including our executive director, La Brua, is bringing back her stage play she wrote and is performing in from Puerto Rico, which will take place Saturday, October 21st at 7 p.m. For all those programs and the ones that I haven't even mentioned yet taking place in October, just stay with us on social media. You see our social media handles on the screen. You see our website, our link tree. If you want to help if you want to help sponsoring any of our programs, go to newregan.org/contribute. We obviously are very thankful for any contributions, because this is what keeps programs like these online programs free. At the moment it is still free, and we want to obviously continue doing so. For any tickets, whether it's for the online or in-person programs, go to our website, newregan.org, click on full events calendar, choose the date and the time. And for the in-person programs, you don't have to get an in-advance ticket. So you can still get it at the door, but just be aware in case it's sold out. Sometimes it's better to get them in advance. And last but not least, if you would like to be on our mailing list, just scan the code, the QR code, and you can enter your first, last name, and email address and click on submit. For those of you in Zoom, I'm going to put that in the chat right now so I do not forget. For those watching us on our social media platforms, live streaming to YouTube, Twitter, X, or Facebook, you can just take a photo with your camera and the QR code will lead you to the website. Okay, and I'm going to stop the slides now so we may proceed to our next performer, which is Cici Oshaga. Let me unmute you. Cici, our condolences again. I know you lost somebody near and dear in your family, and this is why you weren't able to participate in the last few weeks, but we are very happy that you are back with us here. You are a member of our online and in-person family. We've seen you in person as well. Cici, again, our condolences. I'm glad you're back. Let everyone know, including the newcomers, where we may find you, and then the floor is all yours. Go ahead.
Okay, I changed the name thing to the IG, and thank you very much for all the love that came out. My father died a while back. My brother died 2 years ago, and my other brother just died a few weeks back, and it was trippy. This was not your average loss of life, put it that way. But the good news is that I finally ended up with a nephew and a niece that was kind of blocked because of the story between siblings there, and I didn't know what to expect with that, and it was nothing short of divine. Dante and Isabel from Michigan, I'm just gonna shout out there. So I haven't touched this in a while, but for some reason I want to do I Think I Will Not Die today, because that's what we do. Did I turn on the thing?
Yep, we can hear you loud and clear.
Oh, I got a gig tomorrow in Chicopee, Mass, in the library, and they actually requested, because of you guys, they're going to pull out a piano, and after my reading, they're going to make me do a song live there on a little baby grand in the library. So that's all your fault, Nuyo. I think I will not die today, although I just may melt away into a dream. that's here to say, love, stay, and I'll stay with you. I think I will not die today, though I just might cry today, and yes, my tears may fall to see love freed from all the harmful thoughts I made. I think I will not die today, then doubt itself throws choice my way, yet it's as simple as you being here, and no one can ever own love. Oh no, oh, I think I will not die today, as I go through no love with just my face on a stage as bare as no one's here, where there's no reason left to leave my life. Oh, that's from my brother. I think I will not die today. I had no idea joy could feel this way. No idea alone could fill the air, while every exhale gives voice to there is no one missing. I think I will not die today. And fear exposed just runs away, and nothing lonely fills my heart, and all I hear is laughter. Lift life up. Oh, I think I will not die today. I think I will not die today, though I just may melt away into a dream that's here to say, love, stay, and I'll stay with you.
Beautiful, beautiful. All I can say, I'm glad you didn't, die, and we get to continue hearing your music. And, this is the second or third time we're hearing that song. It is beautiful every time. Everyone, please give it up for CC. Amazing.
I'm learning piano and keyboard, and I found a guy in LA that's going to teach me how to use this instrument I bought years ago. So pretty soon you might see this on a keyboard. I'm gonna learn voice and everything. I signed up for this thing. I'm gonna try to take it up a notch. It's all your fault.
It sounded amazing. It already sounded amazing as it was. Everyone, please give it up. That's like, I don't even know you have to learn something new.
We're always glad that you didn't die. Every week.
Every week. Thank you so much, CC. Please keep coming back. We are with you. We are your family, and even though you may have lost your blood family, your biological family, like I said, your nieces and nephews still need you, and we still need you. And I wanted to mention that, in terms of needing, because Nicole, this place here, even before I started, you know, being a member of the working team here, it is so great for our mental health. You know, this has saved my life, you know, before and during the pandemic. So Nicole, Cece, everyone, please keep coming back. Keep coming back. On that note of coming back, I think we have a returnee. If my mental and written records serve me right, Tiffany, you've been with us, I believe, at least once on a Monday and at least once on a Thursday. So you've been at both. I could be wrong. You may have been here more, but I'm glad you're back with us. Remind me again, where are you zooming in from?
Seattle. I'm in Seattle, Washington.
Wonderful. I visited there once, like 15 years ago, to visit my sister who was there for a 1-year internship, and it's a beautiful town. Thank you so much for zooming in from all the way from the West. Remind everyone where we may find you, and then the next minutes are all yours. Go ahead.
Okay. I have a blog that contains my writing at tiffanyhaiti.blogspot.com. And I could write it in the chat later. Okay. So now, should I read my poem now?
Yes, yeah, you can write it in the chat later, but go ahead. The floor's all yours. We're all ears.
Hi, this is my poem titled Black Experience Poetry for the New Black for Mona. The dog barked underneath the porch light. Mountains grew underneath her footsteps. I was 6 feet tall. High yellow girls calling brown-eyed girls black. Homicide. He chewed on a Bible verse. Spitfire. Nothing is sweeter than Xavier's mother. She smoked cigars with a pressing comb hot on a stove in Atlanta. She had full lips and an eloquent queen's vanity, and had the last word of the matter when her baby's daddy left her again. He recorded an unclean mixtape on Zion. I took a ferry boat across Ocean's Lake. She wore a tiare dress made from the sun. It was yellow. Melanin queens and magazines. She was milk chocolate melting on butterscotch like Garbo in the projects. I was born in a quiet ghetto. I wasted myself on Cracker Jack. Our United States of Ebony wore enormous violet petals from where I reign. Politics and subversion of half-truths takes me to Saturn. Late night TV was a tropical flower disappearing on a screen cracking. I carry melancholy's lilacs as a Black daughter with slick ringlets that spiral downward. My college admission papers were stolen from me because I was born of tribes in Ghana, and the scales are tipping out of balance in the diaspora. Jim Crow is ugly on the rewind. I dove into a grasshopper in a darkened booth with red candles that were lit, that dripped wax during a wet February rain. The city streets were slick with foul sleet, and the pigeons' wings would flap. The hounds ceased to bark at the innocent at the church park. In a political garden, I was running as I followed Yamaya's candy drops into a Brazilian dreamscape, and I was given a metal dragonfly tinted in a silvery purple hue. I wore it as my diadem. My frizzy coils fly wildly against the wind. Home. Thank you.
Listen, that when the wind does what it does, it just takes you to places all brand new every time. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Tiffany.
Yeah, Tiffany, right on.
Oh, man, great imagery,
Yeah.
powerful meanings. Yeah,
Glad to be back.
yeah, we're glad to have you back.
Definitely.
My poem wasn't on theme, but I read what I had. So.
Hey, doesn't have to be.
Okay.
Thank you,
Great.
Michael. Absolutely.
you.
It does not have to be on theme, but we still look forward to hearing all of your magical work. It's for everyone, right? You all have poetic license to do whatever it is that you want with the theme. You want to rock with it, you don't want to rock with it, you got something on your heart you want to rock, bring it and get it off, right? Because we are here for it, right? Call it a spitfire, right? An eloquent queen's vanity, right? Garbo in the projects, like, come on, right? Like beauty is beautiful no matter where it is, right? Because you can find beauty in the projects, i.e. 1520 Sedgwick Avenue, right? Birthplace of hip hop. Anyway, she mentioned the United States of Ebony, right? Like, come on, right? Perversion of half-truths, of course. She said her college entrance application was stolen because she was born tribes in Ghana. Damn it. That's heavy, man. Yes, Jim Crow is on the way back. Protect yourselves and all the people that you know, all right? Because shit is getting ugly. Thank you, Tiffany, for finding your way back to us. Do not be a stranger. Find your way into Monday night as often as possible. We truly appreciate you. Before we move on, real quick, everyone, unmute yourself. Give it up for Ron Mark Thompson.
Hey, RMT, we love you.
Week in, week out.
Yeah, what would we do without
Thank
you?
you, Ron.
Oh,
Bottom
man.
going.
Thank you. I'm
Supporting
blushing. I'm
everyone. Man in
blushing.
the
Stop
background.
it. Stop it, guys. Stop it, please. But keep coming back here. Keep coming back on Mondays when Elemental hosts, and especially this Thursday when Finn Bell guest hosts.
Finn Bell.
Yes, and next week
Yeah.
I'm guest hosting, and Elemental will be in the background, but you know, Elemental will still be in the foreground cheering everyone on, which I love about him.
And it's Ray Jane's got a book. You got to push that out there, man. I didn't get it yet.
Listen,
but-
you jumping the gun.
Jumping the gun. Oh, ahead of the curve.
You see what happened? Let's see. No, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. So, and some of y'all might not know who he was mentioning, right? But there, before, like for the past year, the host of the Thursday night was an incredible poet named Ray Jane, right? It's Ray Jane, part of C4. Shout out Crooklyn 4. Her manuscript is on the way. Trust and believe, it is spectacular. I had the absolute pleasure of reviewing it. It is crazy, right? Believe it's called Confessions of a Conduit, Black like that, something like that. But it's incredible. Make sure you plug in. It is coming soon. If you're not sure, boom. Again, ITSRAYJANE. Thunderlung is the bomb. All right. Appreciate that, CC. Cat's on it. Again, I keep telling you, that's why I love our community, right? So many things happening, right? We are unselfish in the love, in our dedication, right? To each other, to our community, and to our poetry. Appreciate that, CC, truly. All right. Coming up next, shout out to all the educators in the building. Love when this poet comes through, continues to come through as another magnificent storyteller. I'm telling you, y'all, in the building this evening, the one and only Marianne Teft is here. Let these folks know where they can find you and all the incredible things you do. Great to see you. Please take it away.
Thank you so much, Elemental. Always a pleasure to see you and Ron Mark and poet friends. I'm everywhere. My name is Marianne Teft, and I'm also on theme tonight with a poem that is also historical, however personal and blessedly ancient. It's called The Right of Flight. Those all's fair in love and war stories shared in the interest of full disclosure, never really my interest or even in mine. I knew from all the times that love took off for the stratosphere, firing retro rockets that burned memories, yet we co-pilots were fished from the deep, spluttering for breath and swearing never to re-enter that capsule. But I slid my lips into a polite smile and tried to absorb the images as you turned the pages, explaining how one after the other let you down, proved somehow lesser than. After a while, I recognized the pedestrian thread. Whenever the going really got touch, the craftsman of close calls, the master of outmaneuvers, the ephemeral flight right with a resume as long as cloudy contrails. If only you knew how I wished the universe had not chosen me to re-practice that painful rite and had led me instead through another passage, but still somehow grateful in that moment that dignity and, yes, even love had reserved for me my own right of flight, yet left me to once again nest alone with no one at home to watch me cry through the coming mating season. Thank you, poets.
Oh my goodness. What? Oh, I wasn't prepared for that. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Marianne.
Marianne.
That was beautiful.
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 Yeah.
Thank you.
And your
As
reading,
always.
your reading is
Just-
up a notch. You're singing, you're singing it. The music.
Thank you,
Yeah, I
Cece.
could hear that.
Means a lot. Thank you.
This is a good thing for everyone. If you could hand your poem to somebody when you get it to the level that she just read it at, where you could hear the song, let the words tell you what the notes are. Beware the one-note piano. But when you get there, something special happens. It's you just start writing in another dimension.
Yeah.
Thank you, Cece. Thank you so much, everybody.
He was plugged in, y'all. Listen, I listen. My condolences, but you are plugged in, sir. Something, right? You are plugged in, right? And I need you to do everything that you can to take advantage of that, CC. For real, the open microphone. His book is available, right? He's been doing this over 2 decades. Make sure you plug in with CC's book, for real. Like I mentioned, shout out to all the educators in the room. You know, Marianne, when you tell stories like that, right? You take people on that journey with you, right? You know, the craftsman of close calls, right? Reserved for me my own right of flight, right? And you said, who's gonna be home to watch me cry? I think that's such a beautiful truth, right? Because sometimes we get so far beyond, we get out of sync with so many people that we actually love that eventually you find yourself flying solo, right? But there's lessons in that, truly. Thank you, Marianne, for working through the technical difficulties that you've had and maintaining and coming through and sharing your incredible work. Thank you. We truly appreciate you. All right, folks, we are almost near the end. All right. Appreciate y'all for hanging out with us. Let's keep it going. Coming up next, our brother from India, this gentleman. Listen, I keep saying every time I get a chance to be around this cat, he was the energy. In the beginning, like Ron was mentioning in the early pandemic days, Unmesh had so much energy, still does. He still reads with so much passion now, runs his own open mic, such a beautiful international space. The one and only Unmesh Mohitkar is here. Let these folks know how they can connect with you, Unmesh. It is always great to see you. Please take it away.
Hey, Elemental. Hello, everyone. This is Unmesh Mohitkar on Facebook and Instagram. I've got open mic. Let's Unmesh live every Friday, 11:30 a.m. New York time. That is 9 p.m. India time. Here we go. Trying to find love in others. He started hating himself. Every time he fell in love, something important he lost, which never came back. Like love cannot be measured, loss is immeasurable. They say, hurt makes you strong. Ask the tree which is cut into 2 pieces. Ask the servant slaving in the master's field day and night. Hurt just hurts like a cobra sting each and every time. There are places inside you where you don't allow unauthorized entry. When someone enters in those sacred spaces, leaving is impossible. Physically might be away from you, but still that person sits inside you in that protected space where you are never stronger. You are never fearless, never brave. You just understand how to hide your insecurity, when, where, and how. like a mercenary searching for happiness, asking everyone when, where, and how. Identifying villains is difficult. Identifying villains hiding in you is almost impossible. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Identifying villains hiding in you? Golly, what? Come on. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Ume.
I heard that
Love
almost.
it.
I'm going with the
Beautiful,
almost.
beautiful.
Yeah,
That is one of the
Unmesh.
greatest lines
I
I've
put- I
ever
put
heard you
almost
write,
life.
man.
And almost.
Identifying the villains
Get that shit out.
itself is almost impossible.
Almost.
Oh my God.
That shit ain't got no home when you kick it out.
I love this community. Y'all are just beyond incredible every time you come through and do this. Really. Said you're trying to find love in a girl, right? They do say hurt makes you strong. Then he said, ask the tree cut in 2 pieces. Damn. Hurts like a cobra sting every time. Again, Umesh does this, right? And then I love the style that you read in, right? Listen, Umesh is also one of the OGs of this online space. Make sure you are plugging into Let's Unmesh Life every Friday morning. Plug in, trust and believe. He is not only just a great poet, but he's a pretty damn great host too. So make sure you plug in. Thank you, Umesh, for being such a mainstay and hanging out with us. Appreciate you. It's mad early where he is too. So appreciate you. That cat wakes up with poetry, for real. All right, coming up next, Captain Flo in the building. Also, this cat has a book out right now, The Emotional Defibrillator. The one and only Daniel Fernandez is here. Let these folks know where they can catch you, connect with you online. Shout out Mama Flo too. Come on, man. You know what it is. Take it away.
Hello. I put my link tree in the chat. There you can find my Instagram, Reddit, my Facebook, and also the book to Emotional Defibrillator. For today, I have a poem that I've written about a week ago, and it's called Glossophobia, which is the fear of public speaking. Glossophobia. The fear of public speaking. Despite sharing my own work, anxiety breaks through the ceiling. My hands start shaking as if I'm freezing, flying through stanzas as I'm trying to control my breathing. All lies on me as if I was caught speeding, stealing attention, hoping someone finds my notions intriguing, taking it slow so that no lines are misleading, juggling metaphors as emotions become overwhelming. It's so common that it affects 75% of our population. Confidence dissolves, all due to public communication. Do you want to perform? Thoughts on rotation. Shit, I don't know, which then builds frustration. No, it's okay, but I'll stay for inspiration. Listening to poets undressing their souls became motivation. Snapping because I'm dazzled by my generation. Poetry is therapy without the medication. Writing about how we feel, regardless of the interpretation. It's bliss, depending on the information. Sadness takes the spotlight and the room is contaminated. On stage experimenting with elevation. I'll overcome the fear. It takes practice to be somewhat perfect. As long as I have faith in myself, I can close the door to forget, perform a piece of my conscience that even has me impressed. Spreading the love by describing pain became my way to connect. I can focus on my craft and what I write down, thinking about the next line as I scan the crowd. I start sweating as demons circle around, but then I'm humble because of the relief my poems announce. Being an introvert can be a huge factor, can't risk embarrassment, and yet I stammer, hiding behind the shadows of a pitiful disaster, reading pages of life, oblivious on the next chapter. Pain keeps the mind awake. When performing, it's quite easy to stumble on a mistake, rocking my body as I struggle to keep my back straight. Intrusive thoughts emerge, so I manage what I can tolerate. My eyes roam as I read some new shit, poems of a bashful man trying to exist. Life stabs my innocence and karma gives me a kiss. My 3 minutes are up and I drift, closed off like Area 51, but that's because I'm reticent, unable to respite like the average resident, comfortable with my work, and yet I'm hesitant. Pay attention because mental illness is evident, jumping on an idea so that I can finish it in 2 days, emotionally naked as I pray agony can be replaced. My shoulders can't accommodate the weight, lost and confused, walking towards fate, making promises to God for a clean slate. No stone unturned became a personal trait. I'm getting drunk off whatever I create. If writer's block becomes a concern, I continue a different day, swimming in social anxiety. People can judge, but I value my privacy. How ironic with poems that describe me, writing about experiences as if it's a diary. I'm on deck, so I have to mentally prepare. Pull out my phone, nervous due to what I'm about to share. Read it over in my head as I sit insensible on a chair. Seconds become minutes, I swear. My name is called and even Satan is aware. Walking to the stage, holding hands with despair. Glossophobia. Hopefully it's a temporary issue. Just because I'm afraid it won't prevent content from being produced. People will listen to dread, but ignore it like a damaged tissue. If poetry wasn't a thing, I would have used the noose. Text a handful of acquaintances, curious on the response they'll shew. Contemplate as hope is unfit to boost. I can't sleep if I'm confined in thought loops. I write it all down, and these poems are proof. It's a dream of mine to prosper off this, so I have no excuse. I'm Daniel Fernandez. It's time for a legend to be introduced. Thank you.
Oh, allow me to reintroduce myself. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Daniel Fernandez.
Oh, that was
Glossophobia overcome.
Daniel. Daniel, I want you to take Nicole is here today. And I want you
It
to
was like a mic drop. Wow. It's amazing.
Yeah, see, no one can be you the first time here. You know, Nicole's here today, and there's no competition in that. It's always you against your soul's leave. Remember that. Everyone's gonna do their own thing, but notice that difference, and the similarity of being the first time here. And watch the journey. It's always the journey. You can go and then crash and come and go and learn, yada, yada. I'm all done. Somebody shut my mic off.
Man, listen. I mentioned the Jedi Master earlier, right? And then we have a new Jedi. Clearly that's emerging. CC Arshagra as Master Yoda up in here, giving words of wisdom for the solar system. Listen. If I didn't know that, that you were flirting with this glossophobia, I would have bet against that shit all day long. There ain't no way that this cat's dealing with that, right? But again, this is the beauty of poetry. This is the beauty of our community as well, is that we can do this, right? We can come here, we can share these things, right? From, dealing with anxiety, right? Juggling metaphors, right? Public communication. Listen, some people would rather walk into traffic than stand up and speak to a group of people. All right. Sometimes that's all you can do, man, is just be present and stay for the inspiration, right? I love that line. You said poetry is therapy without the medications. Man, so beautifully true, right? I'm getting drunk off what I create. Damn right. Right? People will listen to dread. Unfortunately, they will. Right? And again, I told y'all earlier, you know what I mean? Poetry is a living, breathing trigger warning. And he mentioned something that was, it's a difficult place to be, but I'm thankful now, Daniel, that you're on this side of it, that you can come here and share your incredible work with us. We look forward to every single poem that you come through. So I'm glad that you won that fight for real, and you didn't go that route. So thank you. Continue to come through and share your incredible work with us. Appreciate you. All right, coming up next, I mentioned there was a poet who came through earlier, shout out Dre Reyes, and I mentioned some beautiful pictures that he was in. Coming up next is the other half of these beautiful pictures. This poet continues to come through and share their incredible work with us. Love when she comes through. The one and only Kite is here. Let these folks know where they can connect with you online. Again, always great to see you. Please take it away.
Hey, thank you for having me here. You can find me on Instagram under Kitay _ the poetic cat, and it's cat with a K. So speaking of trigger warning, my mom wrote a poem after my sister passed away. She wrote it on the 1-year anniversary, and she requested that I read it. So I'm gonna read that. It's short, and then I'm gonna read a poem actually that involves those pictures, since you brought it up twice now. So cool. All right. And it'll lighten the mood a little bit. All right. So this one is my mom's work. This is not mine. And this also, I should say, this took place June 4th, 2020. So this is old. My sister has been gone since 2019. So it's been 4 years now. It was a year ago today that I got the call. The person on the other end said it so matter-of-factly that it felt like he didn't have a heart at all. He said, "There was an emergency this morning with your daughter, Nicole, today. They worked on her for half an hour and then she passed away. I've always known people that have lost a child. The pain is indescribable that you feel inside. It feels like someone reached in and ripped your heart out. For hours, it seems all I could do was shout. I don't want to be ungrateful to God. He allowed me to have her for a little while I sobbed. He blessed me with 2 more children to love, and I know she is still with me even though she is above. A day doesn't go by that I don't think of her. And I wish I could put things back the way they were. I know you never liked it when I cried. You would cry too. So I was careful to hide and not cry in front of you. Some days are so hard, I don't think I'll get through, especially when I look at your picture and the pain feels brand new. I know in my heart we will meet again someday. I love you, my daughter. That's not going away. Love, your mom." And then this is my work. So Dre challenged me when we went out on our first official date to write about gluten-free French toast because I was so freaking excited about it. So I sat there in the cafe while we were waiting for our food, and I wrote this. We went to a diner to get some breakfast, and when we arrived, there was a wait list. We decided to step out to take a toke, then strolled back in 10 minutes later to discover where next to be seated. So I was stoked. I couldn't wait to order some gluten-free French toast, awaiting that sweet, cinnamon-filled aroma of delicious, yeast-filled goodness, prepared to perfection and beautifully executed upon a plate with butter and syrup drizzled over the top of the half-angle cut bread with home fries in the style of thick-cut roasted potatoes. My appetite couldn't wait. I went to the restroom to wash my hands first, and upon finding them, I saw the signs. They had aliens and humans of all shapes and sizes decorated upon a black affixed sign with white lettering underneath that read, "Whatever. Just wash your hands." I knew I'd love that place when I searched for gluten-free restaurants on Google, and this one kept sticking out at me, drawing me in. And now we made this into a memory. I am back in my seat writing this piece of poetry, awaiting the sight of our waitress to deliver our food on nice big plates. I wait for what will be a glimpse of the food I have been craving, coming through the aisle and making our way to our table. My anticipation growing. And finally, one of the times that I glance up, I see the server walking towards us. Plates of French toast, home fries, and hash browns just waiting to enter my mouth and deliver my taste buds a sense of intense euphoric bouts as I take each bite. I chew mindfully, savoring the syrupy, doughy bread and mushing the roasted potato-style home fries as they exit my hand and land onto my tongue, smushing it against the roof of my mouth to extract all of its wonderful flavor. I finish my food and look across at you, knowing I'd finish it all before you could finish your own food. We exchange a silly grin across the table, eating breakfast on Sunday at noon, as comfortable together as if we have known each other our whole lives. On our first official date at the White Birch Eatery Cafe. Thank you for having me here. I appreciate it.
Yo, come on. First you sharing your family, now you sharing your sweet treats. Like, come on. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Kitay.
Hey, Kitay's headed for the theater.
That was
You
great.
know,
Right on,
Kitay's
Kitay.
headed for the theater. Remember though, when you get there, if it looks like you're acting, you're at the edge. You're headed for the goddamn theater.
If you're headed for the theater, don't act like Bobert.
Am I right? Can you see it too? I
Y'all
think
are
so.
crazy. Y'all, listen, y'all are amazingly crazy about what you do, about these words, about these performances. Really. Listen, I think in the first poem, Kitay, I think everyone was on that journey with you, feeling that energy for your sister from your mom, right? I think we do that. We use that strategy as far as she mentioned. I was careful to hide and not cry in front of you. You know, I think our parents do really, really good job of that. You've heard some people will say, you know, I didn't know we were poor until I was older, you know, because parents do a really great job of hiding the things or keeping the difficult things from you. That doesn't mean it makes them any lighter for them. So prayers to your family for your loss. We truly hope that your sister is resting in peace. And then you served us French toast. Like, you know, usually the Iron Chef is the one that comes through with the sweet treats. You know what I mean? But you came all the way with it. Like, for real, from the sweet cinnamon aroma right to the smashing the potatoes in your mouth to the come on. Like, I feel you. Your appetite couldn't wait. I feel you, right? With the big plates, right? This intense euphoric feeling of food. Let me tell you something. None of that would have been that had it not been the energy that you and Dre were sharing, right? A beautiful collective time, a beautiful space that was shared together and created great work. And listen, there are very few things in the world that are tastier than French toast. Like, what? Come on. Thank you, Kitay. And it was gluten-free. Appreciate you, Kitay, for sharing all of your incredible work with us. We truly, truly appreciate you, really. Okay, coming up next, this gentleman has found a way to, I'm telling you, I don't know, he might have the code. He continues to find his way like right near the end every single time. The one and only Principe is in the building. Listen, always dig when this cat comes through. Come on, man, let these folks know where they can find you online. You know what it is. Take it away.
Hey, my name is Principe. I will be reading my poem called Healing Medicine. Snuggle to my floppy disk ears or headphones. Headphones with vibrational music speak to my heart. When I'm in a melancholy state, the sweetest of words are affirmations. Give me daylight. They're trying to turn on the lights, please, with ease. So I salivate with my ears, demanding more, like the woman needing that good loving. Because when you hear music, your pain is numb. Poem.
I love short poems because they just hit so hard, like Mike Tyson uppercuts. Unmute yourself, give it up for Principe.
Yeah.
More.
Man, listen.
I salivate with my ears.
Okay.
You're
Listen.
leaving us hungry for more. You're leaving us hungry for more.
Oh, yes. Yes, ears just like, come on, I know there's more. I know there's more. Thank you, Principe, for coming through with that. And we've dealt with so many different emotions this evening, right? And I'm thankful that you brought in some of a love language, right? Even though you may be in a melancholy state at times, or when you were writing the piece, you said words of affirmation give you daylight, right? And I think that's important to know what love language you communicate in, right? But in case no one has told you recently, like, you're dope, dude, right? Your poems are on point. We look forward to hearing from you, all right? Make sure you continue to come back and share your work with us, all right? Listen, folks, we have come to the end of the list. There were a few folks that were on it that did not come through. So, I mean, I thought about sharing something with y'all this evening, but I don't know. Because listen, I can get y'all out of here, right? This is the earliest we've been out of here in a while, man, for real.
Come on, we haven't heard from you for your own, so I think we can stick around for another 3 or 4 minutes. I'm sure I'm speaking here for everyone. Come on.
All right. I appreciate y'all. Really, it was not planned. But I will. Just in the spirit of everyone's incredible emotions, all of the energy that you shared. As I usually say to every poet who touched the mic this evening, y'all are the most important part to this, right? It's your energy that makes this thing go and flow, right? I truly appreciate all y'all. I'm gonna give you this poem and then we'll do the ending and get the hell out of here. So I rarely write to the themes because I'm always doing so many other things, but a couple of folks have heard this on my way back from New York. I mentioned earlier about staying awake when you're flying. And so this was a transition point for me. So this is Halo. High altitude, low oxygen, or 7 rules to survival when locked in a nosedive to reality. 1, turn bottle inside out, count missing drops swallowed by yesterday's day before when cork morphed back to compass upon failed requests to higher elevation returned in hollow echoes of what was once a savior. Empty reminder of liquid Loch Ness monster goggles lost and tossed, more minnow, less Gilligan, washed away by serial sequence of sickening sour mash, hanging over quantum leaps to conclusions that ring excuses off another suffocating episodes of a bar keeps bottomless marathon, different track, same tender or setter of stone tablets too. Warning, suggestion not to sip and least bit of conflict disregarded, but this is how you double shot bite back boiler making trouble like Project Basement sitting on nuclear consequences to save $1 or make it through the day with fluid attitude adjustment 3. Say hello to problematic persona, turn watering holes, cathedrals a prerogative, bathed in pale moonlight dancing with devils, call it Friday or happy hour or weddings or funerals, christening, inauguration or breathing, maybe breakup 4. Smiles become glassware where icicles click at past participles, tapping out help me in Morse code that roughly translates to pour me another. So we lotus linguistics into an uncle nearest forest of spirits in bizarro gardens of Eden. Praise Jack Daniels, Pastor McAllen 5. Last time I checked, Melville was safe as Shakespeare, eating green eggs and ham, drinking Irish coffee just south of whatever Mark Twain huckleberry bullshit people pass as literature in school these days, while poets are being censored by addicts drunk off power, passing violent legislation with Louis the 13th resting on rancid tongues. 6, prepare for condemnation of truth champions toasting in chords of chorus of uproar for omitted stories, guaranteed to intoxicate the status palate, herd head-on collision with America's sense of apex nationalism, leave you manslaughtered. 7, unfortunately, we get mandated to remain silent. That can only mean one thing: war is on its way to your shores. Make sure you're prepared. Cheers.
Everyone, big round of applause for our host, Elemental.
God!
Category 5, Storm God Business.
Was that Mingus Miles?
Yep.
All three! Oh!
I love that dude, man.
My
CC the
friend,
business.
that was music. Take a
I
lesson
appreciate
from
all
the
y'all.
jazz
That's
man.
the way.
Your new name, the jazz man of word.
Ah, damn, listen, I truly can't thank y'all enough, right? This ain't about me, y'all. This ain't about me, really. I only share the energy in this building, right? I thank y'all for letting me rock. Truly appreciate all your energy, all your love. This is about y'all, though. It ain't about me. It's about y'all. I do this week after week after week because I love y'all, because I need to keep these lights on to make sure that y'all got somewhere to come and get down. Thank you for hanging out with us all evening. Make sure you are plugging in with the cafe, get you some merch, make a donation, connect with every member of our community, trust and believe you are members of the greatest community in the world. I can't say I love y'all enough. I can't wait to see y'all again next week. But we're going to end the night like this. Until we meet again, may this energy we conjured this evening supercharge the rest of your week. Take this power, inspire others, energize creativity as we all hope to do through the spirit of Miguel Agarin. Your voice is appreciated, necessary, and always valuable in this space. Thank you for sharing it with us. On behalf of the greatest community in the world, it has truly been a pleasure spending Monday night with you. Until next week, y'all. Peace. Blessings.